Alright, y'all, it is 13th of June, Friday night. I am reading this manga called Real, and I have so many thoughts. I have almost caught up to it, I think. I've been reading it for like about 3 days now, and the chapter that I'm on right now, chapter 104, I feel so cathartic right now. Not because I relate to what any of the characters are going through, I frankly cannot even begin to imagine what they're going through with all the setbacks and all the difficult and hard situations they face in life. Okay, let's give you some context. So I will be talking a lot about this manga. So there will be a lot of spoilers as well. So if anybody watching this and is interested in reading this manga, I'll just quickly give you a rundown of what the manga is about without any spoilers. So after a certain point, if you don't want to watch the video, go read the manga first and then feel free to come back and watch this later. But basically, Real is written by Takehiko Inoue. I hope I pronounced the name right. He's also the author of Vagabond and SlamDunk. SlamDunk is also one of my favorite mangas of all time. This is also about basketball, Real, and it's a very different take on basketball. It's not like Kuroko no Basuke, it's not like SlamDunk at all. In some instances, it is like SlamDunk in the sense of it goes through people's journeys and how people overcome their difficulties to get to a certain point. But the way he has done it in this manga, it is a very different from anything else, and I love it. I've been reading it non-stop for the past 3 days. So basically, it revolves around three people whose lives are heavily involved in basketball and whose lives are all affected by certain major incidents. I won't say what they are, but essentially, I mean, as you can see from the promotional pictures and the images and stuff, it does revolve around a lot about physical disability and handicaps and wheelchair basketball, essentially. Because now this is the point where I'll be talking about the actual story itself and what got me to make this video. It's 12:34 a.m. at night, and I'm sitting here like, damn, this is the best chapter I've read, and I feel so great reading this. So the main character, I would say the main character of the three, Tom Nomiya or Tomomi Nomiya. Honestly, I struggle with the names, so I'm not going to try to say all of their names properly. But the main guy, Tom Nomiya, the guy who initially introduces himself as Kobe, number 8 Kobe with the fro, but eventually he gets rid of it to go for a bald head and calls himself Michael Jordan. So this is the kind of person we're dealing with. He's cocky. He's 18 years old. He's a child in high school who gets expelled because he makes brash and bad decisions, but they're all very raw. These decisions of him are purely Nomiya. They are unfiltered. They are unaffected by the rest of society. This is who he is. Now eventually, the manga, I'm at chapter 104. A lot of stuff happens over the chapters. I'm not going to discuss all of that. But TLDR, he wants to be a pro basketball player, and he comes to this realization much later on in the manga after dealing with a lot of difficulties and after overcoming a lot of them. But he sets his goal to be a professional player. Now obviously becoming a professional player in the NBA is very difficult, so he starts going on tryouts to become a professional player in the Japanese league. He does this once and he gets close. He gets to the final 10, but he doesn't get selected, and after that he just goes into this state of not depression, but he essentially gives up on basketball, which to an extent I also relate to. I have been in that situation. I've never actually tried to go pro or went for tryouts. I don't think I was ever good enough for that, which also kind of makes me feel like I never tried hard enough when I compare myself to someone like Nomiya. He is only 18. He has his whole life in front of him. He has suffered a lot, but this is his goal and he wants to do that, and it's really admirable that he's just going out of his way to achieve this goal of his. The first try, obviously, he doesn't make the cut, and he sees a lot of people around him, some of them who do make it, and he goes up against the professional players in the Japanese league, and he sees the difference and understands the difference in level between himself and the pro players. And let me tell you, the manga shows this really well. I play basketball. I haven't even played semi-pro. I've played the highest level I've played. It is in college. And the difference between school basketball and college basketball itself is massive. And I was in a medical university, so I wasn't even a college with major sports scholarships or lots of people coming in to play sports. We had amazing players, but compared to other college players, they were still nothing. And then you compare those college players to, say, players in the US, they were nothing. And then you compare those college players in the US to the NBA. It's worlds apart. So that really shows you how difficult this dream of being a professional basketball player is. Okay, now that we have laid some groundwork, let's get into this chapter itself. Nomiya is a point guard. He is, I think, 173 centimeters, not the tallest guy. I am 170 centimeters. He is not the strongest in the beginning. He is not the fastest. He is not the most athletic. He doesn't have a very good outside shot. He is good at things. He is very good at basketball. But he's not exceptional at anything. He's not exceptional at a lot of skills. But he loves the game. That is the only thing that keeps driving him. And that is the only thing that he is remotely good at. And which is why he keeps going back to that, because that's what gives him the motivation and happiness to keep going, right? Over time, he changes a lot. And finally, when it comes to chapter 104, it feels like he has reached a, I don't want to say culmination because I don't think his journey has ended here, but I do think he has reached a state much higher than he ever was before. He is far more mature in playing basketball than ever before. He is still not the strongest, he is still not the fastest, he is still not the best outside shooter, still not the most athletic, but he has learned how to play the game maturely and in a way that I would say he has learned how to play professionally. I have never played professionally, so I can't really comment on that, but this is what I like to believe professional players and high level mature players play like. Because, not to put myself on that same level, I have matured a lot as a basketball player over time, and the conclusions and the way he's playing in this chapter, I can relate to that a lot. And whenever I meet younger players, I'm 26 right now, so I'm not that much older, but I do meet younger players. This is the kind of stuff that I really try to get into them, to play the game the right way. And it feels like he's finally playing the right way, which means, in my opinion, it would be really tough on him if he doesn't get selected after this, because that would also go completely against everything that I've been standing for, right? That's what I think the right way is, and if you don't get selected, well, then fuck me, then I don't know what to do, right? But I really think he will get selected. I haven't read the next chapter after this. Heck, I don't even know if there's a chapter after this. If I'm not wrong, it was around 104 or 5, which is pretty recent. In any case, getting back to the topic, he is playing Nomiya is playing a much more mature form of basketball after going through a lot of training, after going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and understanding himself as a basketball player, understanding the strengths. So essentially the tryouts start with some warm-ups, and we are introduced to some new players, new characters who we haven't seen in the manga before. And one of them is a kid who's in university, and his first time he's trying out, and he's clearly very nervous. Some of the other people are the people that Nomiya has been training with, Nomiya himself, of course, and also a lot of other strangers who are also here to try out. One of the first things the show is that the university kid is pretty nervous, and this is the second time Nomiya is here. So Nomiya notices this, and something he does really resonates with me, because this is exactly the kind of basketball player and person in life I want to be. He tries to bring the best out of this guy who he has never known, who very well could be selected over him, but he's like, you know what, I am here to play a brand of basketball that I want, and that includes propping my teammates up and other people around me. So these guys are putting a team together, and this guy is a university kid. He gets very nervous. He starts fumbling the ball. The first reaction by Nomiya is keep going, keep shooting, don't give up. Which is, I love this. This is the first time the manga has touched on this. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other stuff as well, but for the first time I'm really starting to relate to a character. And I feel like I am currently at the stage where Nomiya is right now, in the sense of maturity in playing basketball, especially as a point guard, where you have to really get your entire team involved. You have the ball in your hands, and it's your responsibility to make sure everyone else on the team touches the ball, everyone else gets enough shots. Nobody at any point feels like they aren't contributing enough. So you have to be vocal, you have to talk, you have to say good rebound, good shot, it's okay if you missed, get the next one, keep shooting. If you know someone can shoot, if you have faith in them, keep telling them to shoot. Do the little stuff that matters, do the dirty stuff. And this is the stuff which I feel like will really get Nomiya to cross the line into being selected on one of the teams, right? Who knows what happens. So I'll show you the chapters itself. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to show of this, but I'll show it in any case. the chapter starts off with Nomiya already in the scrimmages, playing 5-on-5 against the other players. Like I said, like the university kid number 23 is fumbling a lot, but there's constant communication. This whole time you can see Nomiya is like talking to his teammates and like finding out what they're good at, what they're bad at, and trying to make them play the best that they can, which is exactly what point guards do, and I love that. I was reading this, I wouldn't have made this video if I didn't get to the final page of the chapter, which I was out of my chair and I'm jumping in excitement. I was like, yes, this is what it means to play basketball. This is what it means to be a point guard. Look at this. Nomiya drives in, gets past his man, kicks out to the corner. He catches the ball, his teammate misses. Wide open corner shot, he misses. But it's okay. In the next panel, I love this. This is the best thing that Nomiya has probably done in all of manga. He grabs the offensive board, he comes down and like, the possession is not over. This is the dirty work that I'm talking about. This is the shit that Josh Hart does. This is the shit that Ayo Dosunmu does. This is the shit that Dante DiVincenzo does. This is the shit that smaller guards do, and I love that. This is the kind of player I want to be, and to some extent I am as well. He grabs the offensive rebound, and the very next play he throws it up to his big man, who he talked about having, throwing it up high just a few panels before, and they convert that. The university kid is still worried about, missing that shot, but at the same time, he's like, what, Nomiya is giving it his all, they're communicating, so he's ready to do anything. So this guy's out diving, catching loose balls, throwing it in. In the next panel, when the hustle is rewarded, the guy dives, catches the ball, and Nomiya catches the ball, goes for a layup and gets an and one. And by the way, can we just talk about how beautifully this is all drawn? Like, this is amazing. Well, the mangaka does this so well in SlamDunk as well, but I feel like he's really improved on it in Real. And he's clearly a huge fan of basketball because, he thinks about the game, I would say, in a way that I do. And I am a huge fan of basketball. Anyway, the game continues. Nomiya gets the and one, and the first thing he does is tell the university kid, nice one, man. Thank you for hustling and getting that. Number 23 gets knocked down, but he's like, what, fuck it. I'll just keep shooting. He keeps shooting and he gets fouled on 3 and he goes to the 3-point line. Nomiya just keeps telling him, keep shooting. Picks him up from the ground. It's okay. We'll grab the rebounds for you. I love this. They keep playing well, and throughout this entire chapter, good basketball is emphasized, which is great. And Nomiya makes a really good bounce pass through a couple of defenders, beats the line, gets the university kid who goes for the easy layup. Yeah, that scrimmage ends, and unfortunately the university kid doesn't get selected, but Nomiya does get selected into the final 10 scrimmage. The game continues and Nomiya continues to play the same way. He loses a basket, but he's like, it's fine, let's just continue. Then he goes against another player who's really good at defending, smaller guy, and he's really good at moving. And the next page is what really got to me and got me to make this video. So he's having a tough time getting past his man, and he's trying to dribble through, and then at one point he just says, I've trained all of this, I'm going to use the stuff that I'm good at. He says, do whatever you want, I'm not gonna play the way you want. Impatient basketball, I will play at my pace. And I love that. I fucking love that. That is the way you play basketball. Look at the greats. Look at Jokic. Look at Luka Doncic. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at LeBron James. They impose their style of basketball onto the game. They are going to play their way. They're not going to play at anybody else's pace. And this is what I try to get everyone that I play with, especially the younger players, to understand. Don't play at the defender's pace or the offensive player's pace. And this is what I try to do as well whenever I play. Whenever I'm going against an offensive player, I as a defender try to dictate the pace. When I'm at offense, I don't get affected by the defense. I have the ball, I control the pace, and I will do what I want. And I just love that, man. That's how the chapter ends. He says, I am Nomiya Tomomi, and this is the basketball that he plays at his pace. And I just love that, dude. That was one of my favorite chapters so far. I'm not sure if there's a chapter after this, but that's what got me to record this. And I just wanted to discuss this chapter with someone. I hope there's others out there who are also enjoying this manga just as much as me. Man, I can't wait to see where the story goes. This is peak basketball storytelling so far right now.